Hello, everyone. It is Comrade for Comrade Weather. You are looking at the day 2 moderate risk for March 14th, 2025. You can see this large moderate risk all the way from southeast Iowa, all the way into the boot heel of Missouri, even into areas like Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is mainly for wind, but there is a significant tornado threat. As you can see here, there is a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes all the way from most of the enhanced, actually all the enhanced. Bit more further, hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah, so it's for the entire enhanced portion, moderates in this area, but this is for the entire enhanced area. This is the moderate's not for tornadoes, as you can see, it's for wind. You have this 45% hatched risk for this moderate area here. Then you have this 30% hatched risk for, and this is wind. It's going to be like a very strong line of severe storms. I wouldn't necessarily say derechos. I haven't heard anyone talk about it that way, but it definitely could be a derecho. Um, Although I don't think that's going to be. That might actually be 300 miles across. I think it's 300 miles, and it has to continuously be very severe wind. Anyways, wind is the main concern, along with significant tornadoes from eastern Iowa, southeastern Iowa, all the way down to Jackson, Mississippi. And it's probably because in the morning hours before day one, the day one outlook is actually initiated, there is a potential for supercells to explode ahead of the actual cold front, which could cause some problems, especially early morning in Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee, Tupelo, Mississippi, Amory. Those areas could definitely be seeing some significant tornadoes, and with any supercell that can survive in the morning, which it really should be. So, as you'll see in a couple minutes here, Saturday is looking very concerning, and I don't say that usually. I'm usually very conservative, especially since Dixie hasn't been doing that well this year. It's been a few significant tornadoes, but nothing to the real effect of like a 10% SIG. But Saturday is looking very concerning. I know everyone has heard the word concerning a lot, but as someone who usually goes very conservative on these kinds of things, this is looking very concerning. Uh, Look at the hail for the hell of it. You can see this 30% in the middle of the enhanced here for hail. This is again for tomorrow, March 14th, 2024. You got this 30 hatched risk for hail, a little bit of 15 hatched, and just updated. Okay. I think it was just refreshing for no reason. Anyways, got this 15, a little bit of a hatched from near Des Moines, Iowa, all the way to just a little north of Greenville, Mississippi here. So let's go to day 3. Day 3 is extremely interesting. So they just updated it about an hour, not even an hour ago from recording, about a half hour ago as recorded. So earlier this morning, the moderate risk was kind of like right there. It's kind of looked like that. Now it's a good chunk of Mississippi and Alabama is now under a moderate risk. I think personally, from what it looks like on the models, how James Spann, the meteorologist from Birmingham, who's very, very conservative on these types of things. For James Spann, one of the most famous meteorologists in the field, to say this is going to be a big day, Saturday. It's going to be a big day. That means business. I'm usually I'm not really this much of a hyper or weenie, I guess you could say. I could definitely see, and I'm sure we might see a high risk being issued tomorrow morning, or maybe even tomorrow afternoon. I'm thinking, unless models change, it's going to be somewhere in this area for a high risk. So central Mississippi into western Alabama, I could definitely see a high risk being issued because the environment looks very, very potent. Barely any fail modes. Part of me feels like this could be too good to be true, but we won't know until it happens. All depends on more convection from day two. Because, like I said a couple minutes ago, there is a chance for some isolated supercells to drop significant tornadoes across northern Mississippi, even towards the Jackson, Mississippi area in the morning hours. But Saturday, this is looking very, very concerning. Let's go to the models and I will show you what we're talking about. Actually, real quick, here's the problem is that because there's no tornado wind or hail just yet, but you got a 45% hatch risk. You have a hatch risk, 30 plus hatch risk for all of Alabama, almost all of Mississippi, a good chunk of Tennessee, good chunk of this half of Georgia, almost all of the panhandle of Florida, and almost all of Louisiana. So this is a very potent day. Regional severe weather outbreak. Potentially a regional tornado outbreak is likely to occur. I usually don't say that, but they're saying that. Severe weather outbreak is expected on Saturday across the central Gulf Coast states and deep south into the Tennessee Valley. Numerous significant tornadoes are possible Saturday afternoon. Numerous significant tornadoes. Um, so, and I know there's some people saying, well, why didn't they go day three high risk? There's no such thing. There is never one. It's not in their index. They can't do day three high risk. That doesn't exist. And two, you have a better chance of seeing is this going to downtrend or uptrend in the remaining 48 hours, especially 24 hours, than your last 72 hours. 72 versus 48. That's a big jump in time. Uh, just see if there's anything interesting worse. Setting the stage for a severe weather outbreak, including significant tornadoes, damaging gusts, and large hail. So yeah, this is looking interesting for Saturday. All right, so here is the HRRR model. This is the first time I'm seeing 18Z, so you and me are both going to be in for a surprise, I'm sure. That's the morning hours, and wow. Let's pause that right there. Hold on. That is something. This is valid 18Z Saturday, so this is around 2. And this is 2 p.m. Saturday Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. Down the line from from the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, whatever you want to say, all the way up to even closer to Nashville and such. Just down the line, supercells dropping tornadoes. Of course, on reflectivity, it might not be dropping tornadoes, but it's showing you what cells could be tornadic. But up and down, you have these supercells. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Nope, can't. Oh well. There is a ton of cells, especially right here, very well pronounced supercells. Now, this might not be how radar looks like on Saturday afternoon, but this is showing you what we could be looking at is a bunch of supercells out ahead of a very potent environment in Alabama, which is concerning to say the least. Looks like they kind of started around 16Z, so about noontime Eastern. And I mean, look at that. Here's 8Z, so that's probably around 5 a.m. Barely anything. You have some leftover storms, which could be producing some significant tornadoes in the north of Mississippi. And then this could be a problem. I could see this portion being a problem, but that's all depending on does it actually happen that way or what? and then it kind of starts getting a bit more into a line structure. Uh, these ones I would say would probably be the area to keep an eye out for strong tornadoes, or at least maturing supercells. Um, but yeah, like look at this, it's all around Louisiana into in towards Mississippi. It's got these training supercells. Probably already would be producing tornadoes at that point. Um, yeah, I mean, wow. Let's take a look at the convective portion. So let me open it up. Wow, yeah. So here's your surface-based capes. This is your tornado juice, as Ryan Hall would call it. Let's look at the values here. 3,000 in western and central Mississippi into eastern Louisiana. I would definitely say an area of grave concern. I would say for strong tornadoes in the afternoon portion would be from Jackson to New Orleans, uh, in my opinion. But 3,000 joules per kilogram, that's to put it into perspective, 1,500 joules per kilogram is what you would need for a decent amount of tornadoes. I would say probably like 3 or 4. This is double that. Could even be. It definitely could be higher. Could definitely be lower. This is just the prediction. The mean layer cape still pretty high, about 2,000, closer to 25,000 or 2,500 joules per kilogram. Very loaded environment for 18Z. Most unstable cape, that one I don't really pay too much attention to because it's not really the best cape to be looking at. Cape at the 0 to 3 kilometers. It's scattered out this way, but it is actually looking like on HRRR. I'm going to have to look at the NAM models, although I'm pretty sure they're probably just coming in now. It's not looking like it was this morning. This morning it looked like everything was going to be in northern Mississippi and such. But now it's starting to look like it's staying where the moderate risk is right now. So that's something to think about. Supercell composite, pinks and reds all over the place. I hate to see what the STP is going to look like. Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to look like. So you can see STP of 10 here, all across eastern, central Mississippi into Louisiana, close to New Orleans. It's looking like a loaded environment. If I do say so myself, let's look at the SRH. So I'm going to look at the Echotops real quick. Yeah, those are supercells, all right. 0 to 3 SRH is holy cow. Values up to from 300 to 400 S2, what's it, S2M2 or something, M2 S2, I think. Pretty strong SRH values there. It's going to be an interesting one here. Definitely something to be keeping an eye on. Alright. Let's look at the NAM models, see if they've come in yet. Actually, no, we're going to look at the RAP model first. This is 18Z Saturday from the RAP models. 300, 400, looks like we got 500 M2S2. This is quite a lot of SRH. I don't know if SRH think you need enough of it, but I don't think you want too much of it, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. Lapse rates. And I could see being one failure mode, but that'd be more in most of western Alabama, northern Alabama, and northern Mississippi. Is the middle level lapse rates are basically none. No, it's the southern mode, southern Mississippi, Alabama. Those areas definitely still are in the game, if you will. LLRs, LLRs. I'm not seeing too much there. No, I think it's more the mid levels you want. STP. little lower. It's still showing some pinks here, here, and here, and a little bit over here. Um, Supercell composite. There might be a little bit of pink in there. I don't know what to say because I'm not really. I have been predicting severe weather for a little while. I've had this channel since 2021, March 5th, 25th, 2021. So it's gonna be 4 years. Um, I don't know. I'm just gonna see what the SBC says and just agree with them because it's a lot of stuff to take in. I guess would be the main thing to say. All right, this video is already longer than I wanted it to, so I'm just gonna end it with. So Saturday, this definitely is probably gonna change by the time you might be seeing this. Maybe it might not. Maybe you're seeing this right after I upload it. But I'm personally, from what I'm seeing now, at first I was gonna say over here, but now I'm thinking high risk. If then this could just stay day one moderate. This could just stay day one moderate. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, think about it. The Easter outbreak of 2020 was just a moderate risk. I shouldn't say just a moderate risk. A moderate risk is just as dangerous as a high risk. But I'm thinking if the SPC is really certain that this is going to be a very rare outbreak, it's probably going to be from Jackson to maybe Birmingham. I would say more closer to Tuscaloosa for a high risk for likely tornadoes. Um, Anyways, thank you for watching. I will not be live for this, unfortunately. I will be in Albany, New York for the Northeastern Storm Conference, so I will not be live. Um, but you got people like Max Velocity, Ryan Hall. I'm sure Nate Schneider should be live. Hopefully, he's a good guy. Anyways, so yeah, I will not be live for this. I just wanted to give a weather briefing on it. I'll try to give one. Actually, I probably can't because I'm going to be leaving tomorrow afternoon. So this is probably going to be the only update. I'll probably, definitely going to be on Twitter updating on all this. So follow me on Twitter at Comrade Weather. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.